Alright homies, in today's video we are going to wrap one of my LP records to be shipped across the nation and or the world in a mailer, and I'm going to show you the whole process so you could see what's involved, what you want to look out for, and more importantly just to underline a main theme in my how to do a DIY pressed record video, that when you do something DIY, there is a lot of time that you're going to have to put in, and that is where your profit is going to come from. The more work you do yourself, the more money is going to be put in your pocket. And something as simple as just shipping out a record, you think, it won't be that much time. I could send out 10 very easily. And when you do things right, especially like this, packaging it so it doesn't get damaged and your customer is not upset, there is some thought that goes behind it, and there's some practice to get it right. I'm still kind of working out the kinks, and I think I'm going to show you some pointers today that could really help you, get this done efficiently. Now, there's going to be two things I'm not going to be showing in this video. The first is I'm not showing you me cutting out these stiffeners, as you can see here, out of raw cardboard. That's just kind of boring, it's self-explanatory, and it takes a large chunk of the time. Actually, most of the time is done just cutting up these boxes. And the way you do that is you want to make a template, and then you take a piece of cardboard, find a good landscape for said cardboard, like for example right here. Obviously I'm doing this really quickly just for the sake of camera. Bam, 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 bam. Cut this out. My girlfriend bought one of these for Christmas. That's like a... You see that? This thing's awesome. It's not the best thing in the world, but for like the $5 or $20, whatever much that costs, it's worth it. It is worth it. I was doing it with a razor blade, and trust me, that thing's a lot faster. So that should be pretty self-explanatory. To make a template, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to cut out basically the inside shape of whatever package you're going to be sending them in, and basically that point is where you bend it, right? Cut that out. Does that make sense? Should be easy to understand. The second thing I'm not going to show in this video is getting your actual packaged record with all its contents. So, for example, sorry, let me get out the insert. I want to show the insert. Still kind of hiding that for the fans. Just putting all this together is also more work than you would think. When I started to do this, right now I think I did up to 101. So I did 101 out of 250, and it took me the whole night after like an evening just to do the 101. And I didn't even think about it, right? It didn't even enter my radar, but I wound up spending a good amount of time. And there's really not much involved, right? You just put everything together and make sure everything's there. I mean, the main thing is you don't want to forget your insert, right? Whatever you're going to putting in there besides the record, it's very easy to forget you put it in there. I've also been numbering them. This one's 43 out of 250. So, that also takes more time than you would think. The hardest part about that is remembering, what number did I just do? It's very easy to forget. Yeah, alright, so let's just get started. As I tried to explain in the DIY video, whatever you could get packaging material for free, the better. I ran out of bubble wrapper, so I bought this whole roll. This was about $20. It treats about 100 records. So do the math there. It's about 20 cents a record to be shipped, just that. So I mean, that adds up obviously into your profit. So sorry. Let's get started here. So we're going to take the record. General good practice is to take the vinyl out, and then I definitely recommend putting it in a plastic covering. They're so cheap, there's no reason not to supply them with your record. I know a lot of people told me, Mario, how dare you supply your record with the paper inner sleeve. And honestly, I didn't even think about it. I know like paper sleeves are the worst. I've never had a problem. I guess it's doing more damage than I could ever know, but you know, they always recommend these types of sheets. I didn't even think about the cost associated with that. For my album, you know, since it was a DIY endeavor, I was trying to make it as not modern as possible. I mean, the classic white sleeve was fit perfect for what I needed. All right, so let's get 2 boards here, and a lot of your time is going to be saved. Like, this is already not a good example. A lot of your time is going to be saved by cutting out these inserts correctly. I didn't realize at first how crucial the dimensions are for these inserts, but if you aren't right on spot, when you go to wrap this thing, it's just not going to be good. It's going to be bulgy. You can make it work, but it's just not ideal. So you can see this piece is just, it doesn't have to be one single piece like this one is. This is a great example of a piece I mean, this is actually a really thick piece. This is a great piece. And we're going to put it that way. So we're going to take the record here. I already double checked to make sure the insert was in there. I always check that. We're going to sandwich it. First thing we're going to do, my stencils are slightly rectangular. They're not perfect squares, so I have to make sure I get the orientation correct as well. Even this one's a little out of size. It's actually really difficult to get these right on your Sharpie. There's a lot of variability. So you're going to put one piece right here. And usually the first one I do for the day is usually the worst. So if you're seeing the worst one, I get better as I go along. Like I said, it kind of takes more practice than you would think. All right, so we got those 2 pieces there. Oh, this is going to be good. This is going to be a good one. I'm using more tape than I usually do because I'm trying to show off on camera. Just show I really care. I'm such a fucking prick. All right, so got that piece. This is ready to go. This rolls really nice when you're doing a lot, which I will be doing tonight. Because I can kind of put it like this. I can kind of roll as I go. Roll your own, as they say. Smoke them if you got them. Pop them if you got them. That's what I like to say. We need a scissor. I usually try to cut this, you know, with the 1/2 inch kind of margin offset. You know, it's very convenient that these rolls come in this size. When I saw that in the store, I was jumping up with glee, because that makes it a whole lot easier than I just have to cut it across. You're going to want to do 2 of these per record, I would recommend. And in my opinion, shipping is just not one of those things you want to skimp on. You want to do it right for the sake of your customer and for the sake of just the headache. You know, anytime a record gets to your customer and it's broken, you know, that's profit that's you're gonna have to take a hit on. And if you spend any time on the internet around people who talk about collecting records, there's a lot of horror stories of the USPS or UPS or whatever the hell doing crazy things with records in all packages. Don't get me wrong, I forgot to do a crucial step here actually. This isn't crucial, but I think it helps. I like to pre-bend on the lines that I want to do. If you go too hard, you'll rip the perforations. And the one I have, make sure you get the biggest ones possible. I think this is a 1 inch. Honestly, I wish I had an 1.5 inches. I think it would make things a little easier. See, I kind of cracked it there a little bit, but that's fine. We're going to tape it up. It would be nice to have, maybe not for all of them, 1.5 inches, but if I'm sending 2, like I'm sending 2 to a customer, and I'm not sure how well I could fit 2 in here without it being really tight. And I also am keeping track of all of the numbers for every one I sell to a customer. Hold on, let me make sure I got this right. Like I said, it's a little confusing because of the rectangle. I think that's right. As you can see, like these little movements all add up to time. And I'm so behind. I have like 15 to do. and life just gets in the way, man. I just got home. It's 10:30 right now. I got home at like 9:45, I think. All right, so let's see where we're at. Anyway, it's just like, it's hard to keep up. That's why I emailed a couple of people probably watching this video and saying, please give me a couple more days because, and to be fair, I've been shipping them out really quickly. So, right now, it's not closing as well as I would like, but that's okay. And that's because these inserts, like I said, the dimensions are very crucial. It's not, like this one's not closing how I would like. Let me find one that looks better. This is a good one. The corner's a little tighter, a little cleaner. The important is the stiffeners. If you do the stiffeners right, even if this hits the ground, your record's not going to hit the ground. It's kind of hard to see on camera, but once you tape everything together, it kind of all comes together, baby. All right, so I like to get on the floor and really push it where I need it to be. Like right now, when I push it, it's looking good. The first step, oh God, where's the tape? He forgot the goddamn tape!
What's his name? What's his name? I got nothing on a name. Come on, baby, what's the name? We threw out his name!
Okay, we got the tape. We got the tape. And I definitely, highly recommend getting at least one of these cheap plastic holders. I mean, that's essential. Those ones that are like bigger, that are more like for warehouses, I think it doesn't actually work that well for something this small. But let's get this back where we want it. Let's start on this side. Let's massage it into place. Like that. Squeeze this together. You see that? You see how tight that is? That's what she said, baby. All right. Relax. Everyone calm down. All right. So we got the middle good, tucked in. This is good, we're looking good. Now let's look at the edges. Let's start at a good one. That's usually a good place to start. I like to overhang, the seam and perforations here, right? I like to overhang the tape so it starts here and I could fold it over on this edge. So let me show you what I mean. It's hard to kind of show on camera. So you see I start the tape on this edge. Go like that. Go like that, you see my friend? And then go like this. Shit, I ripped it. I didn't want to do that, but that's alright, we'll fix that. And then like, when you stick it, there you go. Oh, we're looking good, brother. Sometimes, no, that one's good. Sometimes I'll double up on the edge, but most of the times it's not necessary. And listen, if you're watching this video thinking, wow, this guy's doing this like an idiot, I know a better way, I would love to hear it. I watched one video, and this is more or less what the person said. They didn't go into nearly as much boring ass detail that I am, but I think that kind of, those little things that people leave out is often the most important kind of stuff, Alright, so this one's going to be good. This way, it's not closing as good as I would like because of the stiffener, but as I said, my record is in more. It's not at the corner like the stiffeners are. The stiffeners are slightly bigger, and you tape it so the LP is in the middle of the stiffener, and this is going to be just fine. I haven't had one complaint yet. I sent out about 50 of these, and no packaging problems. So, and trust me, some of them have looked a lot worse than this. Hell, I might send one of these to the moon, baby. Damn it, I just stuck it because I dropped it and I'm trying to make funny jokes. You see what's happening? Alright. I kind of fucked that up a little bit. Excuse me, I didn't mean to curse. My bad. We'll edit that out. Alright. That could be a little better. I dropped it. I stuck it. It's fine, but it doesn't look as good as I would like for camera. But this is Hollywood, baby. We'll put some makeup on it. This is what it should have looked like. You see how it kind of folded in like that? Hopefully you can see all this on camera. I might have the lens cap on. I don't even know. Right there. right there. Feels good, feels good. I recommend getting these. I don't know, it'll make your customer feel better slapping a couple stickers on it. At first I started putting 3. Lately I've just been doing 2. I just dropped the record. I dropped it on camera. I'm a terrible salesperson. Alright, and now, something that you also wouldn't think would take a lot of time is getting the address right. I have been keeping track of everyone who gets every specific number, and I believe this was number 43. Let me write that so I remember. And I'm not going to write the fellow's address on camera. I'll just say it out loud. James Diddy. This is going to James Diddy. He lives at... I'm just joking, James. Alright. I think you get the picture, guys. Hopefully you learned something, maybe. I don't know, maybe a chuckle. I started doing weird jokes. I don't know. Listen, I appreciate you, brother. It is now way past my bedtime. I was able to package up 10 LPs. It took me about 2.5 hours, including all the time of cutting up the raw cardboard stiffeners, packaging the records, and putting this all together. It was probably about 3 hours in total for 10 records. So that's about 3.33 an hour, or about 20 minutes per record. So, you know, that's how long it takes. I now have to go to bed because I got work in the morning. Alright, guys. Peace.